Rock and roll. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the meeting of October 10th, 2019. Vin, will you call the roll call, please?
Sure. Deputy Mayor Napolitani.
Here.
Council Members Achara.
Here.
Donlin.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here, everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. This week we're going to honor a former employee, Heather McDonald, who passed away a few weeks ago, and she was very instrumental over at the Historical Museum, so we miss Heather, and we're going to have a little silence for her. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. The notice requirement for the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press, coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk on December 27th, 2018. There are two fire exits, one to my left in the back of the room, which will take you out, meander down the hall into the parking lot, and one to my right, which will also take you out to the front parking lot. If you have a cell phone, just kindly turn the volume down because it interferes. We tape and record all meetings. If you need to take a phone call, kindly go out into the hallway there so you don't interrupt us. If you want to keep it on for photos, that's fine. As I mentioned about Heather McDonald, she worked at Human Services, and she was very instrumental over at the museum. When I first met Heather, it was at an event where we had just moved that house for the museum over to its location, and all of a sudden this gal comes out and she's dressed in like this 18th century outfit. I didn't know who she was. And she introduced herself as Mrs. Woolley. I'm like, what? I was trying to put the pieces together. And she stayed in character for like the whole afternoon. And it was hot that day. But at any event that we had over at the museum, Heather was, the smiley face, and she was always there. And when we started having our Christmas tree lighting, and she would come out dressed in different various stages of, 17th, 18th, 19th century, just added something else to it. So a special gal, we'll miss her dearly. There is a memorial service for her, if anybody's interested, over at the museum. And I think we're having it this Sunday, 2 to 4. The museum will be doing a little something for Heather, so if you're around. John, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yes, on Saturday, October 26th, they're having the Maya's Spooktacular. It's $10 to carve a pumpkin. They'll have an illuminated walk and entertainment by So What. You can get information on the MayaLynterryFoundation.org.
Great. Okay, Maura, do you have anything for us?
Sure. Also on the 26th of October, there's the Deal Lake cleanup that starts at 9 o'clock at the boat docks. And that's their biennial cleanup. Just a reminder for everybody in the neighborhoods now that leaves are starting to fall to make sure that their storm drains are clear. Sometimes to get covered. So if you could just walk around your neighborhood and then take a brush or a rake and make sure they're clear from debris, that would be great. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Dave, you have anything for us?
Yes, next planning board meeting, which will be a regular planning board meeting, will be on Monday, October 28th. Usual time, usual place. Two other things too. The League of Women Voters are having candidates nights forums. First one is on 10/17. That's at 163 Monmouth Road, 7 p.m. and that is for the Board of Ed. And also on 10:30, they're having one for the Assembly candidates, also 7 p.m., same exact location.
Great, thank you. Rob?
This past weekend, the Township hosted our annual Fall Fest. Tremendous turnout. Thanks to everybody that participated, all the vendors, all the residents that showed up, the council that supported the organizations that were there, and everybody did a fantastic job. We're looking to have a meeting next week to do a wrap-up and follow-up, but if anybody attended that has any suggestions, feedback, ideas for next year, by all means, we'll be happy to take it. But great shout out to DPW, Tom Caruso, and the rest of the employees of the town that did participate.
Big turnout, right, Rob?
Huge turnout. Best ever.
Great.
Number two, this past weekend, Sunday, so that was Saturday, Sunday morning, we had our clean sweep in town, which allows volunteers and organizations to go through town, certain areas where they're notoriously full of litter. We'd go out there and bag everything and bring it back, and DPW would, or leave it there, and DPW would pick it all up. So that's a biannual event. Great turnout for that as well. so I heard, the biggest that we've had there as well.
Great.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mike, anything?
I'd just like to welcome Don back and let everyone know right now I concede.
He's going to be challenged, and he knows he can't step up. Marty?
Just wishing everybody, all my brethren, a happy new year. And
What do you write on the check? 5685, or do you
I
use?
think we're at 5789 or something like that, or
That's a post-dated check.
5780. 5780. 5780. I was going to say 79. I made a mistake. But yeah, and, you know, we get the little hats and we do the thing. That's great. And also, let's go Yankees.
Nice. Also, I have a few announcements. We just finished, as Rob said, Fall Fest, our next event. We're going right on to the next one. November, we have 2 coming up. We have the Super Senior Luncheon, which I started about 4 years ago. And this year we're going to have it once again. And it's going to be on Thursday, November 7th at the Renaissance, 11:30 to 1:30. We invite all of our super seniors. I started at the ages of 90 and above. I lowered the age bracket a little bit to 85. So anybody who's 85 and above, Doc, look at that. You're welcome to come with a spouse. It's on us. Lunch is on us, or a driver, or whomever brings you there. We do have some transportation available through our Human Services Department. Contact us. We'll arrange for that for you. It's a good time. Folks come out. We usually get about 100 people. There's a band usually or music for them. It's a wonderful luncheon. It's just a great time, and these folks really, really enjoy it. So anybody who's listening, tell your mom, your grandmom, and I want to see you guys once again. And then right after that, of course, we're going to have our Veterans Day service, and that'll be on Veterans Day, 11 o'clock, right outside here at Town Hall, with our tent and the brass band once again, and of course a couple of singers and whatnot. Another thing I've been working on was, I mentioned this, the state has a state flag, the county has a county flag. Ocean Township doesn't have a town flag. Now, we have a logo, but that's asunder from a town flag is something different. So we researched this. We had a couple of our flagsmiths in town come up with an idea that Embracing is coming up, design a flag for Ocean Township. And so we put this out there. We got a couple designs in, so we're opening it up until the end of the year. I'd love to hear from some of the students at the schools and see. If you go online at our website, there's a little area that will tell you what the parameters are, what we should be looking for. It's a little bit different than other flags. It's going to be something simple with some stripes, etc. But whatever your design may be, please, submit it to us. We'd love to have it. We'd love to have, being that we're celebrating our 170th birthday this year. That's why I asked to have all these pictures put up. We'd also like to, this time, that we have our own flag that we can display at our meetings and at town events as well. So will be on our website. Very good. At this time, open up the public meeting. Oh, let me get to my part there and I'll read it off. The purpose of the public portion is to solely ask questions, understand resolutions and vouchers that appear in the agenda, and it's not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on the agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. If anybody has anything they wish to talk about anything on the consent agenda or resolutions or vouchers, now is the time to come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one? Oh, Don? I'm sorry. Come on up, sir. Haven't seen you in a while. Wasn't expecting that big hand waving over there. All right, Rob. Thanks, Rob.
Don Geiger, 1108 Grassmere Ave, and I'm back just when you thought it's safe to go back in the water. Okay, let's start off. Well, on page 1, numerous trees on page 1 and elsewhere. How does someone decide, A, this is hazardous, or I'm just going to remove this tree?
Well, the ones that Public Works takes down, they're usually ones that we've gotten complaints on where a giant part of a branch is about to fall down. We've had several that fell onto people's houses that we had to remove. Other ones, we have a tree expert that is attached to our engineering firm come out and look at them.
Okay. Just trying to figure that out. Because some of them, looking at how much we paid, weren't cheap.
No.
And now, number 29. What the heck was that for? Do you know? Bright side design.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that was for a, on the golf course, I don't play golf, but I don't know what it is, the sand trap, design of a sand trap on one of the holes.
Okay. By the way, did you learn why they call it golf?
Oh, I don't know.
Because all the other four-letter words were taken.
There you go.
And number 59, Detcon, rubber bumpers for new 197 pack. I realize $95 is chump change compared to the total. But what the heck is that?
It's a truck in Public Works.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's chump change.
And 61, Dude Solutions, Utility Track Plus. I'm guessing to track our utility costs, maybe?
It's a program that Public Works uses to track all the utilities. Mhm.
Okay. I guess straight. Okay, moving right along. Number 85. Now, I understand what it is. Do you have any Garden State Highway Products Incorporated? Traffic safety equipment. Almost $4,600. That's a lot of safety equipment. I realize that most of it's probably needed. I don't know. But do you have any idea what they got in quantities or anything like that?
A lot of it, which they have to purchase every year because they disappear, are the
cones?
The cones. They seem to disappear every time they get put out.
Uh-huh.
A lot of flares that are involved for traffic accidents.
Well, yeah, they get used up, obviously. Yeah. Okay.
Safety equipment.
Okay, and this was for the Fall Fest. Okay, Grand Balloons.
What number are you?
I'm sorry, number 90.
Yeah, that's our
Almost 3,900.
Our blow up.
What did they do for $3,900?
They brought all this apparatus that kids were lined up for 6 hours to play on. It's the blow up.
Yeah.
Things
Okay, bouncy houses.
Bouncy house.
Yeah.
You said
Okay.
it the other night.
Now I've got a guess of what this is for. Number 95, Hunter Technologies wireless headset for $379.65 for the communications people here.
Yes. For police, yes.
Wow, am I doing good? That's still not cheap. Now the one right underneath it, 96. I'm not even going to say the name. Live scan unit maintenance, almost $4,000. What the heck is live scan? Oh, fingerprint.
Mhm.
Okay. And then 112, Kretzer Environmental Services, Environment Resource Invoice for.
This is an environmental resource inventory that the Shade Tree Commission did. They had a grant to pay for that.
Okay, then in other words, it didn't really cost us any money.
Right.
It was a pass-through. Okay, and 125, Lorico Petroleum Services used oil filter. Was that to get rid of it?
What number are you?
124,
124.
the bottom of page 2.
Yeah, they have to remove the used oil and filters from the cars when they change it.
Right, and dispose of them.
Yes.
Okay. 134, Mid-Jersey Municipal Joint Insurance claims under deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Was that more than one claim?
Yes.
Okay. And then 148, National Emergency Number Association, Police Department 911 Training Officer Program, almost $400. How many? And I thought 911 went to the county.
We have our own.
We do our own.
We do our own.
We do
And
our own,
it's
okay.
For all of our dispatchers.
We do
Okay.
okay. Towns also.
Yeah.
Was this training for more than one person? Was it
Yeah.
in-house?
It was about 5 people, I think.
Mhm.
And I think they did it out at the county. So they had, because they have a big room out there, so they could do a bunch of different places.
Okay. And, excuse me, 151, New Jersey Association of School. And then it was, I think that's probably Police Department School Resource Officer Training.
Correct.
Yes.
How many participate in that? Do you know?
We have, right now, I believe it's 3 Class 3 officers. Those are retired officers that work in the schools.
Okay.
That was for them.
And 155, Leadership Experience LE Leaders. How many went to that, and was that off-site?
Yes, 3, the chief and the 2 captains.
Okay. That took care of their registration fees or the whole
The whole,
McGill.
yeah, you got it.
Okay, 173. Pasquale. Court appearance. Why are we paying for a
He's
court
an
appearance?
alternate judge.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, didn't say.
Or prosecutor judge. He's a judge.
Yeah.
Okay, 175.
That's called-
Bermuda Industries new coffee
Alternate
hoist
prosecutor.
for Sunset. What the heck is that?
That's for one of the lifts they need for the trucks. That's where all our big trucks are stored at the Sunset
Oh,
Garage.
lift. Okay. And right underneath that, 176, Petro King Service. A/B, operator, blah, 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 $1,400.
Every year, the state mandates that we have one person who's trained to operate the underground storage tanks, the gas and the diesel, and that's the cost that they charge us.
Uh-huh.
$1,400 per year.
Okay. And, of course, they don't give us any money to
No.
pay for that.
No.
Wonderful. And 184, Rutgers, PTA, and I'm not sure what that means, Parent Teacher Association, 2, registration for Chris. Is that our Chris or some other Chris?
It's got to be somebody on staff. I don't know who.
Be
I'll
nice if
find
it
out.
were me.
Chris from assessing.
Yeah, it's our tax assessors.
Our tax assessor.
Okay. Do you have any more information what the heck that was about?
I'll find out.
Okay. Thank you. You know how to find me.
Yep.
And I'm not 100% sure. I understand what it says. 208, Stewart and Stevenson Power Inspection Air Quality Exhaust.
For all the HVAC systems in this building.
Okay. And then, again, we have more tree trimming. So someone said this is hazardous, something's going to fall, hit someone, hit a house, hit a car. So I'll just move on up. And would you believe
What?
that's all, folks.
Oh my goodness. And
You
that
did pretty
concludes
good.
That concludes the
I
meeting,
think,
folks.
I
We're out of
actually,
time.
I think Mike did a great job. We're
Yeah.
not anticipating,
Hey, you blindsided
My-
to be here today.
I got lucky.
Yeah, she did. But that's all right. I'll
All right.
get even another time.
Thanks, Don. Anybody else on resolutions or that show up on the agenda here?
No,
You have to come up to the mic and.
These are things that are on the, not general items, but items that are on the agenda to discuss specifically.
Good evening, David Weiner, 1216 Walnut Avenue, Ocean Township, Wanamasa section. First, some procedural questions. Why do there appear to be two sets of resolutions and some duplicating numbers?
Yeah, basically, there's the consent agenda, which usually don't involve financial matters, and then there are the individual agendas, items which have financial expenditures. That's
Thank
by
you.
statute.
Secondly, why are questions regarding ordinances not allowed within this venue?
They'll be next.
I'm sorry?
There'll be a
A
time.
separate?
Yeah, the separate thing when we
Thank
discuss
you.
ordinances.
Okay, resolution number 4 regarding the unarmed security guards. Are they replacing officers? Or have we had them before?
We have, it's the same people we have at the security that do the court now. It's an outside firm that does security. They're unarmed.
Right,
And every year we have to go out to bid again.
I understand that, but were they guarding is this the municipal, does it say court or municipal?
Yeah, it's our courtroom.
It's the courtroom, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So it's not unusual, it's not new?
No.
Thank you. Number 1, the transfer of about $329,000 from the sewage authority. This seems to be a regular process, right? It's a procedure that's already established.
Yes.
Is there any concern, and has there been any experience in the past with hurricanes that the sewage authority might need that funding in order to deal with emergent situations, especially with climate change and storms getting stronger and more frequent?
They have not indicated anything like that to us. This is a statutory 5% that we're allowed.
Right.
So, but in that case, they haven't they haven't told us that.
Dave, this is 5% of their operating capital,
Yes.
which is almost the same amount as their surplus. So they do have a surplus, a very healthy surplus. In the unlikely event something like that should occur.
Thank you.
Just like to add something too. John Napolitani and I went for a tour today, and we're very impressed with the degree of. They have flood doors. After Hurricane Sandy, they have their own generators, so they have a number of protections in place.
Thank
And they have overhead wires. They've been very extensive.
And their pump station only flooded out one time. And now those pumps that are down in the basement can actually handle the water if it does flood out.
You also have some excellent employees working there. One used to be my neighbor, Scott. I think he's still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, the increase, resolution number 4 for Rudderman. Is that his name? Rudderman? What's the basis for the $25,000 increase? Was there additional duties taken on by the firm?
There have been several employee issues that involve the labor attorney, and there's the PBA and the SOA contract that are up right now that are getting a little more involved, that we have to bring them in for it.
Does that involve arbitration and the cap,
Not
Chapter
yet.
78 and all that?
Well, Chapter 78, yeah, but it doesn't involve anything other than that yet. We're still negotiating. We haven't come to impasse or anything.
Okay, thank you very much. I think, hold on. Oh, one more, I'm sorry. I can't read my own writing. Number 6, where are these where is this sidewalk, or where are these sidewalks on Route 35?
They're not there yet.
Well, that's perspective,
So it's
obviously.
on the west side of the highway going from McDonald's all the way up to Wells Fargo.
Got it. And they don't exist
They don't
currently?
exist. We sought a grant for it because there's connecting bus stops and a lot of pedestrians behind those stores, and we're trying to keep them from jumping the dividers and things like that, and able to have a safe passage if they need to go up and down the highway. So we finally got the grant in.
Yeah, so
The grant's for actually $8,000 more than what the amount here on the expenditure is. So we'll do some striping too.
Good. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else on resolutions or consent agenda? All right, someone please offer the consent agenda.
I'll offer.
Okay, thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes, also we have tonight vouchers in the amount of $1,961,880.97. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes, and also we have resolution 19175. Authorize the transfer of available surplus revenue collected by the Township of Ocean Sewage Authority pursuant to NJSA 40A4-35 and NJSA 40A4-35:1. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes, 19176. Authorize the tax collector to cancel refund taxes for those taxpayers who have received favorable state tax appeal judgments. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes. In 19177, approve a change order number 1 for the roadway improvement project, Hope Road, increasing the contract amount by $5,750. Excuse me. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes. 19178, authorize the amendment to the professional service contract with Ruderman Roth LLC, increasing the contract by $25,000, bringing the total contract amount from $90,000 to $115,000. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes, 19179, authorize the purchase of a copier from Superior Office Systems, state contract number G2075, for use by municipal court at a cost not to exceed $4,850. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani,
Yes.
Council Members Donlin,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciano.
Yes, in 19180, authorize the consideration of the following sealed bids. A, landscape irrigation at Town Hall for down-to-earth landscaping, $113,885. Now this is for the entire irrigation system, which we don't have now, for the entire premises, and also for the property that between us and the synagogue there, plantings there, irrigation there, and heavy plantings along our west side here for the neighbors who once looked at a woods and not Monmouth Road. We need to screen them out again. That's what A is. B, lighting the tennis court by Quality Electric Construction, $142,400. That's for, of course, outdoor lights over at the new tennis courts on West Park Avenue. And C, sidewalks along Route 35, Land Tech Construction, LLC. Of course, this will be a pass-through from the grant for $137,750. And D, finally, roof repairs for 1515 Logan Road, MTB, LLC, for the amount, a successful bidder for the amount of $128,180. And that's it. Yeah. Oh, we didn't? Okay. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani.
Yes.
Council members Donlin.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. I just don't remember doing this either. Did someone please offer the vouchers in the amount of, I don't know if we did, $1,961,880.97. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani.
Yes.
Council members Donlin.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. So tonight, for introduction only, we have two ordinances. Ordinance.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. We only have one. We're pulling ordinance 2326 because that actually title exists. Is that it?
Yep.
We don't need that one. That's redundant. Okay. And the second ordinance 2327 for introduction only. Vin, would you like to read the title?
Sure. An ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance number 2311 entitled An Ordinance Amending the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean as it relates to the personnel policies, practices, and procedures.
Okay. Someone please offer to introduce ordinance 2327.
I will offer ordinance 2327.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani.
Yes.
Council members Donlin.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that'll have its public hearing on at our October 24th meeting. So it's just an introduction. At the public hearing will be a time if you want to come up, make comments, or discuss that at all. At this time, we welcome the public to come up with anything germane to Ocean Township business and or events. Please come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Yes, sir. Come on up. Oh,
Oh, wait.
Frank, wait till you get to the, because you were picked up on a mic here, Frank.
Okay.
That's
Well,
perfect.
my name is Frank Rogers. I live on Fanwood Street, 2002 in Oakhurst. And my problem is an infestation of deer that are in my location, on my property, on my neighbor's property, in the whole area there. There's a lot across the street from us that people own that is not being taken care of. The town has a lot up the street that's also very poor condition. And there's a large attraction because of two parks, one to the north of us, one to the south. Deer abide in those locations. Deer are a carrier of ticks. And I happen to get Lyme disease. I had to get treated. I go out in my yard, I work, taking care of my property, and I get Lyme disease again. I got Lyme disease again this year. This is not good. I want to live here. I want to. I'm part of the community for more than 35 years, and something has to be done to take care of the deer. I can go out at night or in the evening and see a herd of them. You can see up to 12 of these things. There's the male, females, and fawns all coming there, sitting on my lawn, decorating, doing crap. I have it all over my lawn. I have it on my walkway going up. The other thing that, because of the large amount of rain we've had recently, we have a lot of growth, and that's bringing mosquitoes. So I rarely go out anymore because I'm too old to take on all of these ailments, Lyme disease, mosquito bites, and all that stuff. Is there something that can be done to remove the deer?
Yeah, so we have a referendum out in November on this ballot coming up for a deer management process. So we recognize, we did a survey last year, and overwhelmingly everyone recognized we do have a deer problem. How to manage that deer problem is what we're asking the voters to let us know. We put out there 2 methods of management, which we'll have a talk on at the next council meeting on the 24th from the New Jersey Game and Wildlife, just so voters are aware of what the alternatives are. So, one will be, of course, a lethal method of management, one will be a non-lethal method. But we're asking the voters to decide, and once we get that information back, then we can implement our plan and have our deer management plan in process. As to the maintenance of the lot, Mr. Musillo took notes here. I saw he wrote it down. He's going to ask DPW to go and trim up to make sure at least our lot's not a burden to the neighborhood and not to attract any more mosquitoes. And we do contact, in contact with the Mosquito Commission to go ahead and do preventative maintenance and/or treatments. So you can enjoy your porch on a summer night. Or
Well, I'm not worried
late
about my
August.
porch. I'm worried about my entire property.
Yeah.
I maintain my own,
Gotcha.
and so I'm out there working on it.
Mhm.
And you're out there, and if you have an infestation of small animals and deer and stuff like that, they're going to bring in all kinds of
Everything.
insects and everything else. I'd like to see something done
Yeah.
soon.
So it's on there.
What else can I say? That jeopardizing my health, and I'm not utilizing the property the way I'd like to. I've been here a long time, over 30-something years, and I don't recall ever having to worry about being outside and getting some form of disease. Lyme disease is a very tragic disease, and some of these mosquito types of diseases can be very bad. So let's see if we can do
We're gonna
something
do
about
something.
it.
2000 block of Fanwood?
2002.
It's ironic because, and it means nothing, 80 years ago, those lots were given out in 20-foot
I know,
subscription.
they were given out by the newspaper.
And they were hunting cabins there. People would come down and hunt squirrels, rabbits, and deer. And now you're overrun with them
Yeah.
because of all the homes built up. But it's on our agenda.
Okay.
You're welcome. Yes. Anybody? Sure. Come on up. State your name and address for the
My name-
record. Okay.
Just Lorraine Steiner, 2003 Fanwood Street. I'd just like to say that my quality of life is impacted. My grandchildren were on my deck a few weeks ago, and 8 deer went over 2 3-foot fences and stampeded the backyard. If they went down the steps without me, fortunately they're younger, and I walked down with them. It was like all that was missing was Santa Claus's sleigh. I mean, they were like one after another. It was like a stampede of horses that, like we listen to the ground. And I only have 100 by 100 property. So, I mean, I can't put a pool up in my yard. I can't put up a badminton or anything because they just fly, and they're coming from the property that somebody owns that they won't cut it back, okay? The weeds are growing, yes, they are growing to the size of trees. And it is just completely, so we have that park across the street, and then we have the deal test site, but us lucky ones on Fanwood Street, we have in the middle of a residential area, we have a big forest area also. They just found out that deer carry TB. That's like a new thing if you want to research it. The kids are afraid to go out. They're afraid to go out on the lawn. I don't have a dog. I don't have a cat. But I have to have a massive pooper scooper to pick up all the deer crap. It's disgusting. I mean, piles of it, just everywhere because they jump over the fence, they go into the backyard, then they go to the side, then they go to the front. Now, I'm not even talking about bushes being gone because I have all plastic flowers on my lawn. It's disgusting. It's just, we have a triple whammy on Fanwood Street because, like I said, the 2 big parks and then this massive thing. There used to be a house there. Now that because of the increase with the deer population, now the weeds are as big as trees. So now we have that. So nothing's ever done. I'm told, the property's, it's somebody owns it. Well, it's detrimental to the health. Now, That's just not a piece of property that's just sitting there with the beautiful grass, you know, that you just cut every now and then and maintain it, or a couple of weeds. It's massive, it's thick. They found a safe haven, and they found a food source. And it's 3 feet from my house. Okay, here's another example. My husband and I are coming home one night, 3 deer in front of our garage. We had to back up out of our own driveway. I pay taxes. Back up out of our own driveway and park on the street because we had no usage of our driveway. I think we are bombarded the most on our street. I know they go to I know it's a problem everywhere, but we see them coming out every night out of the lot next door. So now, besides the park, West Park and Deal Test Site, now they just sit there. It's disgusting. And I told you about flying over that's another thing. I have to go down my street at 2 miles an hour. Abnormal, okay? Abnormal. Because we're petrified that they're gonna come out of the lot next door to me, okay? And just slam into the car. So early in the morning, I can't leave when it's, a little dark out. I have to wait till the sun is bright so I can go down my street more than 2 miles an hour. It's just on and on. It's just on and on. And it's not accidents. We won't know about that. The accidents that they cause. If other people don't hear about it, they must be rich.
Just a little, like about a foot from the mic is perfect.
They must be rich because they could replace all their bushes. My first thing is the health. I have no usage of my yard now coming up the driveway. Why should I pay taxes?
Just pay the township portion. Don't pay the school portion. No, I know. Just saying, we're only 20% of that.
I feel like I'm in prison, okay? I'm in deer prison.
Right.
I don't care about the animal lovers. They can come and sit in my house.
You need to say that into the mic. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I need to change the batteries right now.
I hope something's going to be...
Yeah, as I mentioned, we have a deer management program. And we'll
Somebody
put
the
it,
person that owns that lot cut that back because they're all living there now.
yeah. Well, I don't know if we can do that, but we'll send them a notice for maintenance.
I'll see what I can.
Okay, Mrs. Sullivan, just 1 second. We need to change the batteries. Okay. We don't have a live mic for you. Oh, hang on, Mr. Sullivan. No, doesn't sound like it's on. Anything, Vin? Uh-oh. He's going to have to get Rob's microphone. Slide these down.
There we go.
Thank you very much. I feel very important.
You are. Everybody here.
All right, thank you. Mayor and Council, my name is Edward Vincent Killeen Frederick Sullivan. I live at 721 Corley's Avenue in West Allenhurst. The first thing, I guess there's two matters. The first thing is because I've been to court 3 times, I'm on the hook for a rather exorbitant amount of fines, and I'd like to find out how to petition to have that money used for a Christmas bonus fund in the name of Arthur Henderson for the road workers, the people that pick up our garbage, because they're very, very good. The people that are at the site, who work at the site on Sunset Avenue, I think it would really be great to, as you travel through life, I was told for people who travel, I don't travel that much, but when you travel, you should allow 10% for tips and jips. I'd like to see that money really applied, for that, because I think those people really do deserve credit. They work on all the holidays except for 3, and we have a great bunch of people there. I wouldn't say guys because there's gals too. I'd like to see the amount of my fines, which I joyfully pay, applied to a Christmas bonus fund, or if you have to call it year end, whatever. But
Yeah,
something-
whatever our union will allow. I'm not sure contractually.
But I think that
if
should
they
be
can
a-
take any gratuity, but
Well, no, it would be an open,
I got you.
gratuity.
it's a very nice gesture.
As an appreciation. I don't know how I would petition that, but I would really like to see that happen.
Okay.
The other thing is, I've lived in this town. I love it here, and I've debated whether or not to stay. But you know what? I'm staying. I've been here, like I told my Aunt Sandra. I've been here for 40 years, and I love it here. I'm a little bit dismayed or perplexed, I guess is a better word, that they're going to come and inspect us again, and the township is considering going to Superior Court against me and asking for injunctive relief. That seems like we're nice to our neighbors. I've downsized considerably. Marie and tomorrow moving, we look for a place for 6 of the people, and we're not talking deer, we are talking people here that really I consider to be friends. And but we have a lead for 6 of them, but I may not have everybody out. It takes a little doing. Like I have tried, even though I believe, I'm very old-fashioned. I actually believe in the Constitution, where the United States is distinctive, that the function of the government in our great land is to protect. The function of the government is to protect your right to life, liberty, and the God lawful pursuit of happiness. Basically, it's based on the 10 Commandments. And one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. I really, truly believe my private property rights. And one of the things that makes the United States distinctive is that we have private property rights, and we have good title to those private property rights. And we're talking people here. I'm trying to place them. I'm trying to comply, but it's been difficult. It's a very tight rental market, and it's a little... We looked at 3 places today, and I think one landlord's going to work with me. I basically have to subsidize it somehow because the people, my friends aren't rich. I'm comfortable, but they're not. And pretty much the town is demanding that I get everybody out, where it's Michael, Joanne, and maybe Natalie, from, a few more people. And people have moved in because of circumstances. And these are friends of mine. These, guests, that's a gray area, I'm not trying to defy the town, but cooperation... I'm nothing to write home about, but I'm trying. In 50 years, I'm going to be dead, and you want to do things now while we want to do good. Do it now, because we may not have a chance later. And I am trying to place the people, but it doesn't seem right. And I say this very respectfully and hopefully with dignity, but it doesn't seem right that my town should be spending taxpayer money, forget that, to take me to Superior Court to seek injunctive relief or fines that are, $2,000 a day per violation from its inception to its cessation. I mean, you can do that. Can it be done? But do we? Sometimes the best leadership does nothing. I'm really trying to comply, but if there's 2 people that I haven't found homes yet, and I have a nice income, but I'm not that rich. Everybody that I place costs money. And I've downsized for years. I got a little sloppy. I didn't know the laws.
Right.
But right now, we're not bothering anybody.
Well, Mr. Sullivan,
And it really, I'm asking for cooperation,
And I
Mayor,
think
not
you-
to be kicked to the curb. I've lived here 40 years.
right.
I mean, what's the township planning? Central planning, like Planned Parenthood or central planning in Russia? This is the United States, and
So,
you're
Mr. Sullivan-
you're a representative.
Sure. And
You're the
we're-
people we elected.
And we're here to represent you as well as your neighbors. And I think we've had this discussion now going
Well,
on.
yeah, but
going on.
I'm the one taken to court.
Understood.
The fines are north of 10 grand.
But
It's not like
Mr. Sullivan, we've been
It's
at
not
this
like-
almost 2 years
Yeah,
now.
and
correct?
it's a hard market.
Actually, it's over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Yeah, but
Excuse me.
my rights are
Excuse
being
me.
violated.
We've been here for
I have rights too.
you do.
Fine, then
Of
go
course.
enforce your rights. The bottom
No.
line is we've been here for over 2 years, doing the same thing, listening to the same thing from you. That you
Violating
can't
my
place.
rights.
Excuse me. That you can't place these people. The same
It's not
people,
easy. I'm
the
trying.
same
I have
people-
placed 8 of them.
How many people are in the house right now, Mr. Sullivan?
I have to count them. Right now, 6 or 7 are going to be moving shortly.
How many people are in the house right now before they
All
move?
right, Michael and Michael in one section. I'm going to count. I'll name them. Marie and Tamara have a lease. They are moving. I'm moving their things Saturday, so they're not there. So we'll go. There's Joanne. Right now, there's Natalie, Ursula, Patty, Brian, Liz, and Dave, and Paula,
And you.
and myself. Yeah,
And the other 2 that are moving but aren't moved out yet.
yeah. They have
Well,
not.
and what about your
'Cause it
stepson and your?
Yes,
and his
Michael
job.
and Michael are there.
Oh, that's Michael. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So, Mr.
So
Sullivan,
Michael and
8, 9,
Michael.
10, 11. So that's 12 people,
Right.
which is pretty much what we've always had. Not
No,
always.
no way.
Excuse me,
It was up
excuse
to
me.
18.
It was up in the beginning, back in 2018, it was up to 18. But for the last year and a half, it's been about 12 people. So we're still
No,
where
it's
we
more than that.
it's still where we are. You're violating the law. You have neighbors who are unhappy, who are complaining constantly, and everybody has the right to enjoy their property, but your neighbors have the right to enjoy their property. You have people
And I
on your
have the right to
excuse
enjoy-
me. You have people on your property who've been arrested for assaulting each other. They're in court. I think they were in court the same day you were in court. So
I'd like to know who that is because I honestly don't know.
okay, well
Could
that's
you tell
apparently what
me?
the judge. I have no
I
idea.
know
That's what the
nothing
judge said.
about this.
Okay, the judge didn't say that the other day when he.
He said it, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
okay.
able to find out who it is. I honestly
All right.
don't know who it is. There was one night people had a verbal argument. The police came. They were excellent. They said, you don't talk to her and she
That-
won't talk to you. And that's what they did. And
That-
to
that's
my
happened.
knowledge, there was no tickets issued.
They've been called there more than once, more than twice, where the police have been called there. The neighbors are incredibly frustrated, and yes,
John Brown
we're
said
not.
they've never filed a complaint against me. It boils down to one neighbor.
I'm not going to go. It doesn't boil down to
Yes,
one neighbor.
I-
It does not
And
boil down to
again,
one
why
neighbor.
aren't I privy to that information?
Well,
Plenty of laws to protect people. I'm a nonviolent person.
okay.
I mean, my rights are just
I
being
think
trashed.
we're to the point
And
now.
like I said to the judge, this has to be addressed on a higher level for sure, like private property empowerment legislation.
Well, you'll have that opportunity in the Superior Court.
Yeah, you know, as you're saying, the town is going to take me to court.
I'm saying
They are
that's
going to
certainly
take
possible.
me and do injunctive relief. Like someone said that I know, that's not cool. That's not what my
Well,
representatives.
what would be
are
cool is if you listened
I am
years
listening.
ago.
I am trying. I have been
Yeah.
trying. It's not you. Thank God, you or I have never been, without a place to live, and it's pretty ugly out there. The deer at least can tolerate the cold. People can't. They say cars can take a lot. People can't. People have to eat. People have to stay warm. People, need to be loved. And the biggest poverty in the rich industrial nations is thank God not a lack of food, it's a lack of love.
Well, then maybe what you should do is sell the house that you have and buy a place.
I'm being told I have to sell my house because of township planning?
Excuse me.
What the hell is this? That doesn't make sense. I'm supposed to sell my house because the
If you want a
planners
house-
say I'm not cool. I live here. I have friends, and you know what? It's we vote. We care. We're going to make. I'm trying. I know damn well if you throw people out, the township has to provide for them. I'm trying to provide for them. It's just not so easy. It's not so
Provide
cheap.
for them in a zone that provides for boarding homes. That's not where you live.
So you're saying get out of here. That's what
I'm
you're
saying
saying.
provide for them.
None of
Should
us
I-
said that. Mr. Arbus is offering
I don't know what they're going to
alternatives.
do to the deer, but they're not treating my friends very nice. I mean, I don't want to fight with you guys, but taking me to court at taxpayers' expense to impose injunctive relief and kick people to the curb when I've lived here 40 years?
No one wants
I'm
to kick.
a
No one
resident
wants to
of this
kick you to
town
the
and I
curb.
have rights. I don't care what the legal sleaze is.
No one wants
It's
to
legal
kick you.
sleaze, not legalese.
No one
it does
wants
not,
to
if
kick
it does
you.
not make sense, it's not good. Please back off. You're violating my rights.
We're not backing
I
off.
have right. I know you're not, and there's something wrong with that.
Okay.
This isn't good. My rights are being violated. What am I supposed to do? Putting you on notice. If anything happens to anyone, people get hurt, people freeze to death. This just isn't. Somebody told me if something doesn't seem right, it's probably not good. I'm trying to comply. I am making, and believe me, head over heels effort, and I'm spending a lot of money. And yes, it's not all altruism, because what the town's going to do to me is worse. Even though all these laws are made up, I'm dealing with 9 levels of government and 3 lawyers against me. And you're my elected representatives. Ross Perot said something profound, is you're supposed to be working for us, not like kicking us to the curb. I'm a resident of this town. I moved here because I thought Ocean would be a little more like working man, simple, good than Allenhurst. I had a choice. I got to live there. I thought this place was cooler. And there's a legacy of grace in, my property. The Wertheims were really good people. And there's a good feel to the house. There's a good vibe to the house. And yes, it is spiritual. And I just really don't, I don't understand. It's like the Indian when you look at all the, they look at the pollution and the toxic waste in the Hudson River. And you're just looking like, I don't understand. I really don't.
Right.
Cooperation,
Mr.
harmony,
Sullivan,
helping,
I
a
don't mean to
hand up.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we let you go on for quite a while. We
And I
understand.
should. I'm a citizen. I'm a taxpayer
of
in
course,
this
that-
town.
And I'm very patient. I have no problem with that. You were given a plan by the judge what to do. I know you're working at it. Keep working at it. I know you're doing a good job. Again, as Mr. Arbus
And
said,
it's heartbreaking. When I walked out and I said goodnight to the zoning, code enforcement, and the housing guy, and they're walking like this with no smile,
Yeah.
it's Gestapo, and that's not what.
No, we don't want that.
I know they can't talk to me because I have J-Lo representing me, but you can say hello
Right.
and good night and pleasantries.
Yeah, maybe they were
This is
preoccupied with themselves.
crazy.
But anyway, thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for
All
letting
right.
me speak.
You're welcome. Anytime. Anybody else?
You and those you love.
Thank you. You too.
Even my enemies, like the neighbor that don't like me, I wish him good health and I wish him love.
It's the Christian thing to do.
It's the only thing to do.
Okay. Thank you. We got others. We do one bite of the apple now until everybody's been heard.
I did. John Huss, Corley's Avenue, 4 houses from Eddie. And Eddie was my neighbor for a while. And then he moved up to Wertheim's house. I knew Sandy very well, too. But Eddie, he said something about Gestapo, and some of these words, and look, we have master plan, we've got ordinances, and that's what we have to follow. Now, you can't have 18 people in a house. If you have 18 people in that house, then put 18 in Sandy's house, put 18 in my house, and and flood the neighborhood. We'll all get then we'll run for council, and you could be the mayor, West Allenhurst, Mrs. Donlin. But West Allenhurst can take over the whole town. So, but I don't want to know that there's 18 people in that house. I just don't want to know. I don't want to know there's 12 people in that house. And Eddie, I say hello to you when I see you. I've known you for a long time. Again, you were my neighbor. But you got to comply with the laws and the rules. Not so much the laws, we'll say, but the ordinances that protect us all. You're being protected, and I want to be protected. So I just want you to continue to follow those rules. The judge is right. Whatever he's done, I'm sure he's right. I'm sure he's trying to take care of him. And I can be sympathetic, but I want the rules followed. So.
Right. Good point. Thank you, Mr. Huss. Anybody else wishing to be heard tonight?
Besides me.
Well, come on up if you have more.
And I think I'm still Don Geiger, and I still live at 1108 Grassmere Avenue. I'm going to off-the-cuff comment to Mr. Sullivan. Your rights end at your neighbor's property line. So you have to take that in consideration. I realize you're trying to do a Christian thing. There's a certain point where it's past the point of prudence. So take that for what it's worth. Now, any news on the status of the proposed land swap with the developer for 35 and Deal?
It's going to take some time. To have to wait for the resolution to be memorialized, and then from there we can pick it up from there.
But it hasn't died?
Nope.
Okay. Is there any, because I looked at the traffic as I came up here on Deal, and it was from 35 all the way to Logan, and no one's blocking the box yet, but you saw a line coming down Deal going towards 35. Personally, I don't think how they're going to, even with the improvements to the road, let's say everything goes through, I don't see how they're going to manage the traffic unless they make people exit the stores onto 35. That's just what I think.
Right.
I'm not a traffic engineer.
I think most of them will.
Okay. And since we're spending a little bit of money on doing the roof on the old yeshiva building, are there any plans for that?
Yes, we're in discussions now with several interested groups.
Okay, such as, can you name them?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
A couple of them are summer camps for now, but a more permanent resident we're talking to now also. That.
Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to give a super shout out to Alicia, Nancy, and Tom in Public Works, who are awesome. They're the best of the best of the best.
Awesome.
And that's paraphrasing Will Smith in Man in Black.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We agree. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Okay, one more.
David Weiner, 1216 Walnut Avenue, Wanamassa. Far less contentious issue. I just thought of it. I believe it still exists on the corner of Logan and Appleby. The stop sign has been broken off for some time, and there's a very sharp metal base still left there, which is dangerous. So I would ask that someone take a look at that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing and hearing no one, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Napolitani.
Yes.
Council members Donlin.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
And Mayor Sulciano.
Yes, thank you all for coming. Meetings adjourned. We air twice a day at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. at Channel 22 if you have files, and 77 for Cablevision. And all our meetings are taped and archived and are on YouTube within 24 hours of meeting time. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.